Good morning, or should I say, great morning. Let me ask you something. What time did you wake up today? 6 a.m.? 7 a.m.? 8? Now imagine if you woke up at 4 a.m. Not for work, not for school, but for yourself. Because that's where the change begins. Today I'm going to give you 6 powerful reasons why waking up at 4 a.m. can transform your life. Not just tweak it, not improve it. I mean change it entirely. At 4 a.m., the world is different. It's not just another hour on the clock. It's a rare moment of stillness, a time that belongs to no one but you. The streets are empty, your phone isn't buzzing, emails aren't flooding your inbox, and no one is asking for your time or attention. There's no rush, no noise, no chaos. Just a deep, almost sacred silence that wraps around you like a blanket. In that silence, you can finally hear something you rarely do in the noise of the day. Yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, your inner voice. The one that's often drowned out by deadlines, responsibilities, and social distractions. At 4 a.m., the external world takes a step back, and the internal world steps forward. You begin to notice what you're really thinking, what you're truly feeling, and what you deeply want from your life. This clarity is powerful. It's in these quiet hours that you can reflect without interference. You can ask yourself the hard questions. Am I living the life I want? Am I moving toward my goals? Or just going through the motions? What truly matters to me, not just today, but in the big picture? During the day, it's easy to get swept away. You're pulled in 100 directions by people, problems, notifications, and distractions. You're reacting instead of thinking, surviving instead of creating. But when you wake up before the world does, you're in control. You create the space to check in with yourself, not just mentally, but emotionally and spiritually too. This is when ideas surface, dreams begin to take shape. You might start journaling and uncover thoughts you didn't even know you had. You might sit in silence and feel peace you didn't know you needed. Or you might look out into the dark sky and realize how big the world is, how small your problems seem in comparison, and how much possibility lies ahead. That level of introspection is hard to find once the world wakes up. Once the sun rises, so do the expectations, obligations, and distractions. But at 4 a.m., it's just you. And in that solitude, there's strength. You build self-awareness, you connect with your purpose, you find direction. Many people fear silence because it forces them to face things they've been avoiding. But the truth is, what you avoid in the day can become your guide in the morning. If you're brave enough to listen, so when you wake up at 4 a.m., you're not just getting a head start on the day. You're stepping into a space where real clarity, focus, and transformation can begin. Because when the world is quiet, that's when you finally hear what matters most. Motivation feels good. It's exciting, energizing, and inspiring. It's that surge of passion you feel after watching a powerful video, hearing a great speech, or reading something that lights a fire in your soul. But motivation is temporary. It fades. One bad night's sleep, one stressful day, one moment of doubt, and it disappears. You wake up, and suddenly, you don't feel like doing the work. You don't feel like showing up. And that's where most people stop. But discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't rely on emotions. It's not loud or flash. It's quiet, steady, and consistent. It shows up regardless of mood, weather, or circumstances. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Waking up at 4 a.m. is not a motivational act. It's a disciplined one. There's no crowd cheering you on, no applause waiting when your feet hit the floor in the dark. It's just you and a choice. Motivation whispers, you'll feel better tomorrow. Discipline says, get up. Now. And over time, that choice becomes a habit. And that habit becomes character. Discipline is what turns dreams into reality. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants to be fit, focused, and fulfilled. But few are willing to consistently do the unglamorous things that success requires, especially when no one's watching. Discipline doesn't care if it's fun. It doesn't wait until conditions are perfect. It acts because it's necessary. The truth is, motivation is like a spark. It can start a fire, but it won't keep it burning. Discipline is the fuel that keeps it alive. When you build discipline, you become reliable. You stop depending on fleeting emotions and start depending on your own decisions. You build trust with yourself. Every early morning wake up, every tough workout completed, every moment you choose effort over ease, that's a promise kept. That's proof you're becoming the kind of person who follows through. It's easy to show up when you're excited, but it's what you do when you're not excited that everyone who's still waiting to feel ready. If you want to change your life, stop chasing motivation and start mastering discipline. Set the alarm. Wake up when it goes off. Not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. That consistency, that commitment is where transformation begins. Discipline is the difference between wishing and achieving, between starting and finishing, between average and exceptional. And it begins with one decision. That you're too tired, that one day off won't matter. And that moment, right there, is where the first and often most important fight of the day takes place. If you get up, you win. And that win, though it may seem small, creates a ripple effect through your entire day. It's not just about being awake early. It's about proving to yourself that you are in control, that you can overcome resistance, that you can choose progress over comfort. In a world where most people are still under the covers, you've already made a decision to rise. You've set the tone, and that tone is discipline, drive, and purpose. That first victory gives you something powerful: momentum. Momentum is what carries you forward when willpower begins to fade. It's what makes the next decision easier. The person who's focused on personal development, but they go to bed late, scroll endlessly, hit snooze multiple times, and wake up reacting to the day instead of leading it. That wasted time adds up. It becomes the difference between where they are and where they wish they could be. When you rise at 4 a.m., you're reclaiming that lost time. Let's say you gain 2 extra hours a day. That's 14 hours a week. Over a month, that's nearly 60 hours. Over a year, it's over 700 hours. That's the equivalent of an entire month of focused effort that others never tap into. And if you keep that up over several years, you've literally created another lifetime of progress while others were still sleeping. This extra time becomes your runway. You can use it to exercise and take care of your body before the day even starts. You can read, journal, and nourish your mind. You can work on side projects, pursue passion goals, or simply reflect and plan with intention. You're not scrambling to find time. You've already made time, and you're using it with purpose. There's something incredibly empowering about getting a head start on the world. By the time others are waking up and rushing into their day, you've already done something meaningful. You've already moved forward. That creates confidence, that builds self-respect. It's not just about productivity, it's about identity. You start to see yourself as someone who makes time work for them, not the other way around. In a world obsessed with speed and shortcuts, waking up at 4 a.m. is the long game. It's a commitment to consistency. It's a declaration that your time matters too much to waste. You're not letting the day control you. You're taking control from the moment it begins. When you wake up at 4 a.m., you're not just waking up early. You're creating space to shape who you are. In those quiet early hours, you have the rare opportunity to build a morning routine that doesn't just prepare you for the day, but actually builds you from the inside out. The world hasn't started pulling at you yet. There are no emails demanding your response, no meetings to prepare for, no noise or distraction. It's just you and the chance to start your day with intention. A powerful morning routine is like laying the foundation for a strong, stable house. If your foundation is rushed, weak, or inconsistent, everything built on top of it becomes unstable. But when your foundation is solid, everything else stands taller and lasts longer. The same is true for you. What you do first thing in the morning sets the tone for how you think, feel, and perform the rest of the day. At 4 a.m., you can design that time around what you need to thrive. Maybe it starts with stretching, yoga, a workout. Waking up your body wakes up your mind. It sends a message that you're not just existing today. You're showing up strong. Then maybe you move into stillness, meditation, breathing exercises, or simply sitting in silence. You give yourself the gift of calm before the chaos. You train your mind to be focused, centered, and present. After that, you might open a book or write in a journal. You fuel your mind with new ideas or unpack thoughts and feelings that need clarity. You might review your goals, visualize your future, or plan your day with focus instead of reacting on the fly. These moments aren't extras, they're essential. They remind you who you are, where you're going, and why it matters. This kind of routine doesn't just prepare you for your day, it transforms you over time. You're not just doing tasks, you're reinforcing identity. You're becoming the type of person who takes ownership, who doesn't drift through life but designs it. And you're doing it consistently, in the same way a sculptor chips away at stone every morning before anyone else wakes up. Most people rush into their day, reactive and scattered. You walk into yours aligned and prepared. That's the power of a morning routine that builds you. It doesn't just change your mornings, it changes your mindset, your habits, and your entire trajectory. And it all starts with the simple but powerful decision to rise before the world. Them. They want success, but they also want to stay comfortable. They want growth, but only if it doesn't disrupt their current habits. That's the pack. Living reactively, driven by convenience and short-term gratification. But when you wake up at 4 a.m., you step away from that mindset. You choose long-term vision over short-term comfort. You separate yourself not through words or wishes, but through action. It's not just the time on the clock that makes the difference. It's what that time represents: commitment, sacrifice, and intentional living. It says something powerful about you, that you're willing to do what others won't, to become someone others can't. It means you're willing to rise in the dark while others sleep, to work in silence while others drift. That early wake-up call becomes a mental edge. It gives you a psychological advantage. Let's be real. Most people won't do this. They'll say it's too early, too hard, too unrealistic. Perfect. That's your edge. When you do what most people won't, you get what most people never will: success, focus, growth, purpose. Waking up at 4 a.m. is not just a habit, it's a statement. Time is the most valuable currency. Everyone gets 24 hours, but those who rise at 4 a.m., they've stolen a few extra. That's 2-3 more hours a day. Over a year, that's 1,000 plus hours. Over a decade, you've lived an extra year while everyone else slept.